Welcome to My Wife Hates the Chargers. We got a little podcast revamp here. We're on YouTube now. We got a little name change. Used to be called My Wife Hates Sports. We're dialing it back in and locking in on just Chargers. So got my co-host with me, Clint Jack. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. How we doing? It's a great day.
This is a good day to be a Charger fan. Maybe the best day we've had in a long bit here.
It's one of the best days of my life.
I felt happiness again. Um, this is the first time the Spanos family has hired the top candidate to be the coach and hired the coach that the fans actually wanted in our lifetime. I probably ever. I think they bought the team in like the mid 80s, and I don't think we've ever had the best coach candidate from the pool when we've had an opening.
You think Marty was up there, maybe top five, but not
I
like
checked that.
Jim
I checked that
Harbaugh.
Marty. He was hired the same coaching cycle that John Gruden switched from the Raiders to Bucks, and then also Tony Dungy from Bucks to Colts. I don't know if Marty was more highly coveted than those two, but
Well, surely not Jim Harbaugh, I don't think either.
right, yeah. So I think we got the guy. There was some pushback that, oh no, Belichick's actually the best candidate this time, but Belichick's like a 2 to 3 year thing, maybe 4 years at the most, where Harbaugh could be our guy for like the next like decade.
Falcons can have Belichick, dude.
Right. Well, it's interesting that the Falcons interviewed Belichick and then they interviewed Harbaugh and they had a second interview scheduled with Harbaugh for this week and or it was supposed to happen today and he canceled it.
Dude,
So it's pretty
I, there,
sick.
I was starting to doubt it. I thought he was going to get out of the building.
Yeah.
Uh, just thank God that we got it done, brother.
I know. So yesterday they had the meeting all day, it sounds like, into the night. I don't know how long it took. And then today was supposed to be Falcons, then it got canceled. Found out he was still in LA, and then I was like, all right, I think it's a done deal. We just got to wait for this thing to drop. So there's some contingencies going on. I'm sure they just had to work out other things, but I think they knew this was the pair for a while now.
It seems like this has been the thing for like a year now, right?
Right. Well, this is a good example of like where there's smoke, there's fire. Because I
Yep.
posted a like back in September 18th, I made a post that said if the Chargers have a losing record at the bye week, time to fire Staley, let Kellen Moore take over the rest of the year, and then hire Harbaugh in the offseason. And 4 months later, here we are. So I'm happy about it.
Dude, I'm ecstatic. I don't even really know how to feel. I feel like it's still not real.
Yeah. I think my video's shutting down here. All right. So maybe I'm thinking maybe we've turned a corner with the ownership, and maybe it has something to do with John Spanos opposed to Dean. Dean is unforgivable to us, moving the team out of San Diego, all the coaching mishaps, all the times of being cheap. But John is the, I guess, quote, the president of football operations now. So maybe there's something there. Sometimes with ownership, like sometimes the owner son is better than the dad. Sometimes it's reverse, like Al Davis
Yeah.
or Mark Davis, like there can be a difference. So maybe the future is bright with John Spanos, and we just need Dean to kind of get out of the picture a bit.
How long has John been doing the president
O
stuff?
Only the last couple years has he been like super
Gotcha.
involved. Yeah, maybe since they moved to LA, he stepped up a bit, but the last few years,
Right.
I know he had a lot to do with the Staley era in general, which honestly, from like a team building perspective, was not that bad of a job. Like we were aggressive in trading for Khalil Mack, signing J.C. Jackson, which blew up in our face, but those aren't things that we would have done like 6 or 7 years ago.
I wonder if any of that has to do with being in San Diego, a
Yeah.
little smaller market. I feel like they're ready to make the jump into fully being in LA, I think.
Yeah, there's some pressure to like keep up with the crowd in LA. So I guess here's why we wanted Harbaugh so bad for the past like year almost. He's a winner everywhere he goes. I don't know if you saw this, but he has the highest winning percentage of any current NFL head coach. Do you
Better
see
than Andy
that?
Reid?
Better than Andy Reid. He's at 0.695% win percentage.
No, hey, well, all we know is the Raiders got the fourth best coach in the division.
Yeah. And maybe the fourth best GM. They hired Telesco. Do you see that?
See ya, Tom. Good
Yeah, pretty
riddance.
funny. So also Harbaugh sets a clear culture. The players unanimously buy in with him 100%. Nothing but, the most glowing of reviews. His teams are tough and explosive, which is a really good combo, and it's what you need today. Like we saw from the national championship game, his team could run the ball effectively, and that's how they won the game. But also on defense, like there was so many like wide open field tackles that their guys just pulled through on.
Right.
And I didn't watch every Michigan game, but tuned in on that one. Obviously, it was like, all right, if this guy's going to be the coach, let's see what we kind of got cooking here. I mean, obviously we know him from being in the NFL, but it was good to get a taste.
He made JJ McCarthy look good too, so he's gonna make Justin Herbert look real good.
Right. I don't know if you saw this at the Lions Rams game, but the Lions fans had a sign like hanging over kind of the front row seat that said grit has been established. Did you see that sign?
I did.
Maybe grit isn't our word, maybe it's something a little different, but I think we'll figure out kind of an identity with Harbaugh that we have been lacking for the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 coaches.
I hope we at least bite a couple kneecaps off.
Right. Maybe not 10, but if we can get to 3, I think we're in good shape. So they're doing a intro press conference next week. So that'll be fun. It'll
You're
be
telling me I gotta
entertaining.
wait 3 days to see this? Are
Yeah,
you kidding me?
right. It'll be entertaining for sure. Also, we play the Ravens in LA this upcoming season. So we got a little Harbaugh on our hands cooking.
So you're coming back home for that one, I hope.
That's probably going to be the one to come to. Yep. I got to make the annual trip from Hawaii back to California to see the Bolts lose at
I
least
think
one game a year.
you're gonna have to come back out to training camp again this year too, man. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
that was a
buzzing.
good time. All right. I'm curious to see who the coordinators are. It sounds like he's gonna part of his like contingency package was getting Jesse Minter, the Michigan defensive coordinator, to join up. So he's probably negotiating a little bit on his behalf to get him locked up. But offensive coordinator is open. It could be Greg Roman. We also blocked Kellen Moore from having interviews elsewhere. So it could potentially be one of those two. Are
Yeah,
you
that was
opposed are you
confusing.
opposed to Kellen Moore?
I mean, with the way Harbaugh is, I just feel like his scheme doesn't really fit.
Hmm.
I
It's
feel like
possible.
Harbaugh's more of a power run guy, not a pass guy.
Hmm.
But is it going to stunt Herbert's growth by having what is it going to be his fourth offensive
Yeah,
coordinator?
fourth or fifth. Yeah.
So I don't know if he wants to mess with that, but I
Yeah.
trust Jim Harbaugh, so I don't really care.
Right. Well, I think they blocked him from interviewing just so they could have the option, right?
Right.
Like, and maybe if Justin Herbert like steps in and is like, hey, I'd really like to keep Kellen, we got a good thing going. I think we just needed some changes, like, then maybe you keep him.
Well, you would think they may have already talked about that, right?
Yeah, and maybe that's why they blocked him just to kind of figure that out. But the other thing that I saw was that Harbaugh wants to bring his son in to coach special teams. Uh, we have a good thing going with special teams right now with Ryan Ficken, and we also blocked him from interviewing elsewhere. I mean, our special teams has been one of the worst spots of our team since we've been alive, and it's really good right now. And it's one of the only few bright spots of this season is like our special teams is on lock. So I would like to keep Ryan Ficken around to keep coaching those special teams.
Well, what's better than one Harbaugh?
That's good. Yeah.
Two
Nothing
of
like
them.
some, we need some good nepotism in this building.
They're going
Start
to turn it
hiring your
around,
kids.
man.
Yeah, right. There's also this thing that he wants his strength coach from Michigan, and his name's Ben Herbert. Do you see that?
Bring him on, man.
Bring
He's
him. Not opposed.
and
But
because hey, we need that changed anyway. I don't really care who it is.
right, with our injury history for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing I think they took a long time negotiating on was like the Harbaugh's request for like an analytic team and a nutrition team. I think those were kind of his two big pillars of like, hey, I can come in and win, but I need these things set up. I need, my defensive coordinator, maybe my son, we'll see. But the analytics team and the nutrition team have to be like set in stone. You have to be willing to invest in that for me to come.
Well, he probably saw Bosa eating his raisin bran up in the suite that one game. So he's like, we're
Didn't
getting
like
these guys
that.
out of here.
Yeah. We're getting Bosa and the Raisin Brain out of here. Just
Good.
both of them gone.
We can get rid of him.
Here's a list of people who have coached for the same team that they played on as an NFL player. Ready?
But Jim
Do you know
Harbaugh.
do you know any of them?
Is it a one of one?
No, there's 6 at least that I
Oh
found.
man.
Mike Ditka
Okay.
played for the Bears, legendary tight end, also coached. Doug Peterson played for the Eagles, was like a backup quarterback.
Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett, good one. There's 2 more.
I won't get him.
Art Shell was like a Raiders offensive tackle like in the 80s and then coached for them twice actually. Um, but he's a Hall of Famer as a player, not as a coach. The last one, other than Jim Harbaugh, is Bart Starr coached the Packers after he was
What?
done playing. Yeah. Wasn't that good of a coach, but he was the coach.
How long was that for? Like 2 years?
Yeah, I don't know if it was that long, but well, I think it was longer than that, but losing record. So Mike Ditka, Doug Peterson, Jason Garrett, Art Shell, Bart Starr, and Jim Harbaugh was the list I found. Sorry if I'm missing somebody, but it's a pretty cool list to be a part of, to play for a team and then later coach that same team. Obviously, Ditka had the most success as a player and a coach. Um, Jim Harbaugh wasn't he's not going in the Chargers Ring of Honor as a player, but
Right. Yes, he will be in about 10, 15
right,
years. You wait.
right. Yeah, that's right. I wanted to read these quotes from Dean Spanos, John Spanos, and Jim. Want to know what you think about all of them. Here's Dean Spanos. Um, here's his quote. Jim Harbaugh is football personified, and I can think of no better to lead the Chargers forward. Son of a coach, brother of a coach, and father of a coach who himself was coached by uh, Ditka. I didn't realize that. Ditka was his coach at one point. For the past 2 decades, Jim has led hundreds of men to success everywhere he's been as their coach. And today, Jim Harbaugh returns to the Chargers, this time as our coach. Who has it better than us?
Nobody.
Kind of corny to throw in his little family slogan there at the
He's
end.
bought in.
Yeah, right. He's drinking the Harbaugh Kool-Aid. It's funny that he mentioned the father of a coach. So maybe there have been a lot more discussions about his son being in the mix than I anticipated.
Well, I know he talks to his dad before every game, so
Right.
basically got three Harbaughs if you think about it.
Yeah, right. Advisor Harbaugh,
Yeah.
Jack. Okay, here's John's quote. You don't build a resume like Jim's by accident. You don't do it by yourself. You need a team, and nobody has built a team more successfully and repeatedly in recent history than Jim Harbaugh. His former players swear by him and his opponents swear by him. Jim is one of one, and we couldn't be more excited to have him back in the Chargers organization as our coach.
Fires me up, man. Already read that like 10 times too.
Gets the people going.
It
Um,
gets me going.
Here's Jim's quote. It's pretty sick. My love for Michigan, playing there and coming back to coach there leaves a lasting impact. I'll always be a loyal Wolverine. I'm remarkably fortunate to have been afforded the privilege of coaching at places where my life's journey has created strong personal connections for me. From working as an assistant coach at Western Kentucky alongside my father, Jack, shout out, and time as an assistant with the Raiders. He could have left that line out, I think.
Yeah.
To being the head coach at University of San Diego, Stanford, the 49ers, and Michigan. Each of those opportunities carried significance. Each felt personal. When I played for the Chargers, the Spanos family could not have been more gracious and or more welcoming. Being back here feels like home, and it's great to see that those things haven't changed. Um, the only job you start at the top is digging a hole. That's a good quote. He's said that before. This is not the first time he said that line. He's saying that in the first team meeting. So we know we've got to earn our way, be better today than yesterday, be better tomorrow than today. My priorities are faith, family, and football, classic. And we are going to attack each of them with enthusiasm unknown to mankind. There's a
Love
line
that.
for you.
Love that.
This organ this organization is putting in the work, investing capital, love to hear that, building infrastructure, we got that new facility being built, and doing everything within its power to win. Those are great to hear. Great effort equals great results, and we're just getting started. Jim Harbaugh, head freaking coach.
Head freaking coach, dude.
Dude,
I can't believe it.
that's a quote right there. That's gonna go down.
See, I'm so confused as to like why nobody's ever been this interested in the Chargers, dude. Like, and like all of a sudden we get this coach who's just played for the Chargers for 2 years and just has a soft spot for them.
Right. Well, it's California. I mean, San Diego, Stanford, played in San Diego. Connections with the Spanos family, Justin Herbert. vacant spot. Um, someone else pointed this out to me, or I just saw somebody talking about this. They were like, because they were like, shouldn't he be kind of worried about coming to the AFC West? Like, of all, maybe go to the NFC might be an easier path if you're just trying to get to a Super Bowl. But now you've got the Chiefs, you've got your brother's team, you got all these quarterbacks in the AFC. Um, and they pointed out that he's never been afraid of the challenge and he actually pursues it and attacks it head on. Like when he took the 49ers gig, the Seahawks were kind of a thing there.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously Michigan hadn't beat Ohio State very often, and he turns that around and ends up on top.
Yeah, I mean, part of me feels like this is like kind of a middle finger up to the Niners, you know? It's like you let me go, I'm gonna show you what I got, you
Yeah.
know?
I gotta be honest, like obviously Harbaugh I think has the highest ceiling, potential ceiling of any of the other coaching candidates. There is potential for a pretty low floor here if there's clashing with ownership, you know what I mean?
I mean, I
I hate
feel
to
like
throw some I hate to throw some cold water on today, but like it has been in the back of my head, and I thought about this with Vrabel if because it was funny. Yesterday, Vrabel and Pete Carroll were like trying to get in on the job because I think they knew that Harbaugh was close to locking it down. They're like, wait, wait, wait.
yeah.
But I thought with Vrabel, there was a lower ceiling than compared to Harbaugh, but I think the floor was actually higher with Vrabel than it could potentially be with Harbaugh.
I just feel like it got to the point where all the fans were like, it's Harbaugh or bust. If we
Right.
didn't get Harbaugh, nobody was gonna be happy, no matter who it was.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he was our favorite for a reason. That there was going to be a riot of the 12 Charger fans if they hired anyone but Jim Harbaugh.
Shout out to the fans that were posted up outside the facility too, dude.
Did you go?
No, I was thinking about it once I saw people posted up out there though.
I think I might swing by. That's pretty funny.
And
Were
I'm
they
gonna
just
start
like,
getting no,
were
I'm
they
not
just
gonna
like
get in
waiting for him
trouble
to come
for it,
out?
dude. Refreshing my page every 2 seconds.
Yeah, that was a trip the last couple, like 48 hours. I thought about turning notifications on for Schefter or something just so I would get a buzz every time he tweets. But
Me too, but I just kept refreshing that page, brother.
yeah, I hopped on, pulled up at Costco, and I pulled my phone out and I was like, let me just check. And Schefter had just posted 2 minutes ago
Yep.
with the news, and I was like, bro,
I
we
was
did
starting to get
it.
scared, dude, because I was like, dude, there's no way they've been meeting for that long. Like, there's no way he's still there.
Right.
What he's sleep? What
You
he
were doubting. You were like, oh, we lost him. Like if we didn't get the news yesterday, that was it.
what he sleep in the building? Like, what? That's why I was
They might
confused.
have had a little sleepover. They pulled an all-nighter, just ate some popcorn.
I'm a slumber party making hot chocolate with marshmallows,
Yeah, reminiscing on the San Diego days.
maybe little Baileys in there,
Right, yeah.
loosen them up a little bit.
Pretty funny. Yeah, because they never said like we've concluded a second interview with Jim Harbaugh because they've been doing that. So,
Right.
and they didn't do that. I was like, guess the interview's still going on. They have not concluded the interview yet.
Well, I saw there was like someone said he was back in Michigan. Someone said he was supposed to go to Atlanta. I was like, oh God.
Yeah. Um, well, it's an exciting time. Hopefully we've turned the page and this can start to right some wrongs that the ownership has done. Um, I mean, obviously most of us would still love for the team to move back to San Diego. Maybe that's too far-fetched at this point.
If
Um,
one man can do it, it's Jim Harbaugh.
well, just this like new facility being built, like that kind of like digs some roots in the ground, you know?
Give it to UCLA, dude.
Not a bad decision. Let them rent it from you. Stop renting a stadium.
Man, we got some big roster moves coming too, though. That's what I'm excited to see.
You're excited to see it. I'm kind of dreading it. I mean, it's going to be hard to like part with, potentially Mike Williams, Eckler. Like these guys have meant something to us the past like
Eck-
6 years.
Eckler's gonna be crawling on his knees back to us now. Please
I know.
take me back.
I know. I'll take a vet minimum.
As long as we keep Keenan Allen, dude, I'm good. We
And
gotta stay
Khalil.
loyal. Stay loyal.
Keenan Allen, Khalil Mack, and Derwin James are my three that I'm like, please just retain those guys.
See, I'm down with James, but Mac, I'd be okay because he's getting up there. And
Dude, he
how
almost led
long
the
is
league
he
in
going to be?
sacks.
I know. We'll see, man. Jim knows best.
Right. I mean, Khalil thought about retiring after the Jags loss, so
This will probably
maybe
get his juices flowing, man.
yeah, it might. I mean, a lot of the guys, I'm sure, and maybe there's some free agents that, maybe we're one of those teams where it's like that free agent joins our team, right before the playoffs or something like that, instead of going to the Chiefs or the Patriots in the past or something like that. You know what I mean?
Let's go out and score Derrick Henry, man.
I thought about that. I mean, if we got Vrabel, that seemed like an obvious move, but I'd still take him.
I'll take him all day. I'll take Tony Pollard over Eckler at this point.
Yeah, it's tough.
Or
You want
hey,
the
Saquon.
Michigan running back.
Blake Corum. I
Yeah.
want that guy's legit.
Is he going to be a day two guy?
Probably like second or third round, I would think. I
Yeah,
still want Bowers, dude. That's my guy.
I'm with that. I mean, I could see them going O-line, but Everett's of free agent, so it probably is Bowers. And I think most Charger fans would be on board with that. He reminds me of Gronk, honestly. I mean, you try not to compare anyone to like, oh, he's just like Randy Moss or Gronk or Tyreek Hill. Like those comparisons just shouldn't be made?
Hey, he's like a
But
skinny, lanky dude.
Bowers,
Yeah.
dude, he kills some people though. He's got a hit stick on him.
So he's got a little power in that tank.
Dude, he looks like Gronk to me when he plays. Or like Laporta kinda.
I'll have to look at his physique. He looks like a wide receiver.
Because he's super tall, but I think he's kind of stacked. I
That
haven't
would
seen
be a
him.
game changer because Keenan's got another 1 or 2 years left.
Yeah,
That'd be our
easy.
number one, and then one B.
Yep. All right. Any other things on the Harbaugh news dropping?
Uh, he's gonna bring us a Super Bowl by 2025. That's all I know.
Actually, when the Chargers signed Derwin James his extension, in my head, and I think I posted this too, I was like, the Derwin James contract is our Super Bowl window. And that could still apply because now it's overlapping with Harbaugh. And obviously now it's like, okay, now the Harbaugh Herbert pairing is probably our Super Bowl window. Hopefully Derwin's here for it. And hopefully Keenan's here for it. But this kind of feels like the window where if it's going to happen, it's got to be now. Got to strike while the iron's hot because we got pretty lucky only having a 1 game gap between Philip Rivers and Justin Herbert. Like, so many teams are searching for their next guy for like draft after draft. I mean, look at the Bears and hopefully, Caleb Williams is putting up a fight to go there, but we were pretty lucky. We had 1 game of Tyrod Taylor that we won, and then we just moved right into the Herbert era. So don't mess it up. And I think that's why the Charger fans were so desperate to not hire a coordinator that might be a good head coach. It's like, no, get the guy that you know is capable of taking us where we want to be.
If Harbaugh can't turn this around, then we're doomed. We already know our fate for the rest of life.
Right. Yeah. Just dig our grave now. All right. I wanted to hit on this, and we talked about it a little bit, but I hit a parlay last week that I was pretty proud of.
Let's hear it.
Four legs you know, picked each game. So I picked the Ravens minus 9.5 over the Texans, Packers plus 10 versus San Francisco, Detroit Lions money line, because I would have taken the points if I had to, but I thought the Bucks might keep it close with maybe a cheap backdoor cover at the end. And
Good call.
if the Bucks would have gotten that 2 point conversion, they would have covered the 6.5. So I would have lost. If,
Oh,
if they
you
made
got
that,
lucky.
if they made that 2 point conversion, if I took the points, but I just took the Lions money line. And then I had the Chiefs plus 2.5 at Buffalo. I think if Patrick Mahomes is ever the underdog in the playoffs, you just take him. And
You shouldn't be living in Hawaii, man. You should move to Vegas.
I know. Well, I restrain myself to playoffs only. I don't get crazy.
That's it.
Yeah. Dude, I think betting on like a Monday night regular season game is kind of unhealthy behavior. You
I agree.
gotta keep it to just the playoffs. So that 4 leg parlay was plus 870. So slap 34 on there and got 334 back. So I feel good about that one.
You're
So
taking the wife out to dinner.
I'm reinvesting it in this week's bets. What are you talking about? My wife hates the Chargers. She didn't get to reap the rewards of my football success here.
Yeah, that's your money, man. Take it.
So here's what I'm thinking for this week. I want to know what you think. We got two games. Chiefs at Ravens, Lions at 49ers. Patrick Mahomes is an underdog on the road plus 3.5. Um, I think the Ravens win though. And you've seen the stuff with the Super Bowl logo and the colors that are matched with it.
Yeah, I have.
And this, you sound sad.
Dude, I want the Lions to go so bad.
That's why. That's funny. You're like, no, it's not blue.
Dude, they're lovable losers, man. I want them to go so
Yeah.
bad.
Imagine I think we talked about this last time, but a Browns Lions Super Bowl would have been just classic.
I would have even taken the Bills and the Lions, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking you got to take the points with Patrick Mahomes at plus 3.5, but you can parlay that with the Ravens money line. Um, so
I might.
you're basically betting that the Ravens win a tight game by a field goal or, you know, three
I'll
points
bet
or
the
less.
points on that game, dude.
Mm. The over under.
That's gonna be a freaking shootout.
Yeah, it's set at 44.5. The Lions 49ers is higher. It's at 50. I don't really like betting points. I don't even like betting player props or touchdowns or anything. I just because at the end of the day, I'm like, I think I have a feeling that I know of like who's gonna win and if it's gonna be close or if they're gonna win
Right.
handedly. The other stuff, I don't really know how it's gonna play out. So I don't like kind of putting that stuff on the line. But so here it is. Chiefs plus 3.5 parlayed with the Ravens money line, and then either the Lions money line or the Niners money line. The line is +7 for the Lions, -7 for the 49ers. So that's tough to me. But if so basically I'm thinking about doing both of them because if the Chiefs cover the 3.5 and the Ravens win, then if the Lions or Niners win, it doesn't matter to me. I'm making money either way as long as that first thing happens if I place the two bets. So with the Lions money line, the odds are plus 2368. So $42 on that gets you 1,000. If you
I like
take the
the
if you
Lions, man.
if you take the Niners, that's plus 766. So $65 on that gets you 500. I'm thinking about just doing both and then just hoping that the Ravens win tight. Justin Tucker game winning field goal.
Anybody but the Chiefs, dude. I don't really care.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of those dudes.
right.
I usually have choice words for them, but I refrained myself.
For the kids on YouTube.
Yeah,
Dude, it is tough. I mean, I do want the Ravens obviously to beat them. I would love the Lions to win, just the true underdog story. And the Goff Stafford stuff just adds to that so much. I mean, it'd be awesome. But I like a lot of guys on the Niners too. Obviously, know, our white guy running back pulling through for us, McCaffrey, for the white team.
he's one of one, brother.
I know. So it's gonna be a fun, dude. I thought this divisional weekend is the best weekend of football. Like you got quality games across the board. Four games. You got two Saturday, two Sunday, and all you get the crappy wild card teams out of there that weren't like serious, you know. And then you just have these quality games. Like all those games were freaking awesome. I loved last weekend's football.
Yeah, no, I wish the Texans would have made it a little bit more of a game, but
Right. That's the only one. But I had the Ravens 9.5, so I wasn't fretting that one
yeah,
too
you were
much.
happy. You were
Yeah.
happy.
But the Lions win was awesome. I mean, Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson really made a case for themselves to be, potential head coaches. But obviously, I wish the Chiefs and Bills game ended a little differently.
Bills choke again, man. What's new?
Yeah, right.
But who are we to talk?
Yeah, we're on our high horse. We just hired Jim Harbaugh. We're feeling good about ourselves, taking shots at teams in the divisional round.
Man, I've been throwing out bets all day long.
All right, settle down, man. Reel it in.
Nah, like with all my friends, like Cowboys fans, I'm like, dude, I bet we'll have more wins than you will next year anyway.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're feeling good. You're feeling
We're
confident.
feeling very confident.
Yeah. All right. I'm Obviously, the Lions would be my first pick to win the Super Bowl, then probably Ravens, then 49ers, then Chiefs. Is that how you feel?
I'll put the Niners number two.
Yeah, it's tight. I could flip-flop those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all in on the Lions at this point. It don't really matter.
Yeah. Dude, I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. Their whole team is just awesome. Like they got the Michigan defensive and the pass rusher Hutchinson, Michigan man. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown's legit. Jahmyr Gibbs is sweet. Laporta's the maybe the best rookie tight end ever. Jared Goff is steady. I never sold my Jared Goff stock, even when his stock was really low at one point. And I was like, I think he's just not that bad. I mean, I thought he was underrated.
Don't leave my man
Um,
Dan Campbell out of there.
well, obviously he's the reason for it, right? So that's the culture, gets everyone on board, empowers the coordinators, and both of his coordinators are now potential head coaches. So that's how you do it.
That guy just
They made a trade and they hit on all the picks.
that guy gets me ready to run through a freaking brick wall, dude.
Yeah. We hope Harbaugh does the same. We'll see. But
Oh, he will.
dude, I
I'm ready.
I think you texted me earlier and you were like, "This is the best day in the history of the Chargers."
I think so, dude.
I mean, since we've been alive, what are the best days? Tomlinson breaking the record.
Gates.
Phil Rivers, the win in Kansas City to Mike Williams with the 2-point conversion.
I was at that one.
You were there in Kansas City? Oh, you were.
Oh,
You were at a friend's wedding or something, right?
uh, I was just going to school at the time, dude, but that
Oh,
was the best game I've ever been to in my life.
yeah. So that was one of the best days. Sproles, the touchdown against the Colts in the playoffs.
Oh, the punt return, baby.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, wait, no. He had a punt return and then the run. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. The run was in overtime, I think.
Yeah.
That was a good one. What are the other best days in Chargers history? Gates setting the record,
Yep, Gates. Mm, not very many good ones, huh?
trading for Khalil Mack, drafting Justin Herbert. We didn't know like how good the Herbert thing was going to turn out at the time. I mean, half the Chargers fans were set on Tua.
Yeah, I was pretty heated at the time. I will
I was
say.
happy. I was happy with either because I kind of knew that Tua was going to go first. So I was like trying to, sell myself on Herbert. So I was fine with them.
Miami
And
can keep to it, man. We don't even want him no more.
dude, Brandon Staley to Miami, defensive coordinator.
Dolphin stock is going this way.
I saw one person posted it was like the news of Tom Telesco being hired by the Raiders, and they said on purpose. That's how I felt about Brandon Staley being hired by the Dolphins. Like, wait, okay, so the Raiders kill us, 63 points on us, and then they hire our GM to a roster that they just embarrassed like that. And then the Dolphins light us up so many yards in that game, and they're like, we should get that defensive coordinator to come help us. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, maybe McDaniel's not that smart.
Maybe we give him too much credit. All
We'll
right,
see.
man. It's a good day. Um, I'm so happy that the ownership didn't fumble this. And I think the fans pressuring had a lot to do with this. So you know what? We can give ourselves a pat on the back today. I think we pulled this off.
For once, we did not Charger.
Right. Maybe this is the end of charging.
Uh,
Could
I
it
hope,
be?
man.
Could it be?
We're so scarred that we don't know yet,
Yeah. Let's give it some time. But man, it's a good day.
dude. Beautiful day.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Beautiful, beautiful years ahead.
Okay. We'll stay tuned. What's next? Draft or free agency? I guess the next thing is kind of the coordinators.
Any small move now is a move, though.
Right. The chessboard is active.
Whether it's a practice squad player or what, I'm looking.
You're locked in.
I'm locked in,
You need the
brother.
notifications on for everything. All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, brother.